relationships, trauma, philosophy, relationships, trauma, philosophy.
Welcome to the podcast that some people say is the greatest one known to man or woman.
I'd say that.
Yeah, there we go. There's two people already saying it, so you can trust us. But welcome to the Yellow BB podcast. This is the place if you're craving more adventure in life, whether to live it vicariously through us or get ideas to spike your own. This is for sure the podcast for you. I am Scott.
And I'm Shelby.
We are a couple exploring life, showing the ups and downs of figuring it all out. Whether it's our travel stories, relationship goals, tough moments, or philosophical conversations, it truly is never a dull episode. Join us on this spinning rock we call Earth as we figure it out together. To all our new listeners, welcome, and to everyone else, welcome back.
Welcome.
And before we do jump in, please do slap the like button, karate chop subscribe, drop 5 stars on the podcast like a superhero, and share the episode by shouting it into a canyon. It really does mean a lot to us. And do head over to TikTok to catch the best bits from today's episode. And if you are joining us for the first time, you can actually go back there and see all of our favourite moments.
Yes, you can.
Easy and quick, digestible clips. And of course, to all our new listeners, Shelby is our resident lexicographer and etymologist, also known on this podcast as the Countdown legend, Susie Dent.
I do love Susie Dent.
Yeah, she is a legend, not just on Countdown, but on this very podcast. So if you do know her, send our podcast to her.
Please, I would love to have Susie Dent on as a guest. She just, on 8 out of 10 cats does Countdown. Obviously, on Countdown, it's all very professional anyway, but on 8 out of 10 cats does Countdown. She does a very good job of navigating the innuendos and inappropriate comments from some of the comedians. She's just a professional through and through.
She really is. She really is. So get to know Susie. Today we're gonna talk about where Strange Things gets even stranger. I know everyone went wild about Stranger Things, but we thought we'd go even stranger in this episode because not by choice, or kind of by choice, but kind of it's just happened that we've ended up watching some really weird shit recently.
We really have. Some that we knew was going to be weird and some less so. That came as a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, so we thought we'd do an episode on that where we tell you some weird sort of films and shows we've seen. And surprisingly, we're going to recommend some of them. And then just sort of go back in history of our lives and tell you even weirder, stranger films that we probably wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, that's certainly one in mind that I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, I think I have two. I have two. One's a very tough watch, and then the other one I just would not recommend.
Okay.
It is the strangest thing I've ever watched on a television screen.
Oh. Have we watched that together?
No,
oh.
And I just wouldn't recommend it.
Interesting.
If you're into really weird stuff, I think you might be into it, but it is bloody bizarre.
Yeah.
And we'll get into it.
Is that why you like me? 'Cause you like strange things?
Yeah, that's pretty much what took me to you straight away, yeah. We're definitely not a normal pair. We're more of an odd duo, aren't we?
We are.
But
unique.
We are, normal's boring.
It is.
And we're going to show you how strange we are. So, kicking off from what we've seen, let's start a bit lighter before we get into the real strange and weird. Let's start off with Severance.
Yes.
Because that is definitely strange. And for me, a bit frustratingly strange.
Mm.
You have to be patient with it. If you have seen it, it's the hit TV show directed, and the creator is Ben Stiller, who is an interesting creator. He seems to be quite obsessed with shooting everything in cold environments. He seems to really like snow. I've just noticed that from his project of Walter Mitty, and the entirety of Severance is all. But it looks stunning. I must say, he's all about having the most beautiful shots. He's about having symmetries, and I'm into that. But anyway, the show itself is odd.
It is. The concept itself is odd. So for anyone who doesn't know, the concept is that people in this TV show can choose to undergo a procedure called severance, where they have a chip put in their brain and that enables them to work for this company called Lumen, who we never figure out what it is exactly they're doing, or we haven't yet anyway. But if you work for them, then when you enter the elevator and get to what they call the severed floor for severed workers, they switch personalities, memories to a work version of themselves. So what happens at work, they don't remember on the outside. What happens on the outside, they don't know on the inside. So they are like totally, in some cases, different personalities. So that in itself is quite odd to follow and understand. Some why people do it. Like the main character, you learn right at the start, the reason he chose to do it was because his wife died, and he was grieving, and he thought it would be a way of him like getting some sort of rest from that grief. Yeah, and a whole host of different reasons why they would choose to do that. But I think what you find particularly weird is like the random stuff that just happens.
There's so much random stuff, and we are going to try our hardest not to give you any spoilers of any show. We'll try just give you a feeling for what it's about. So what Shelby just shared there, you'll find out all that in the first sort of 20 minutes of the first episode. What I get frustrated with shows is when I get it's supposed to be mysterious and you don't really find out why they're doing it or what their job is until the end of season 2. And for all the watchers who were watching it live, there was a 3-year gap between season 1 and season 2. So that's pretty painful. They've had to wait, 3+ years to actually know what they're watching. And still it hasn't answered all the questions, but it has answered a pretty big one at the end of season 2. But what I get frustrated with is when it just does like additional nonsensical stuff that never gets answered and seems to have no relevance to the story. We still don't know why. There's lambs involved. No, are they goats, lambs?
Yeah, goats.
Goats. There's like goats keep appearing, and there's like rooms where there's just people with goats, and they seem to be obsessed by them. And there's just no real answer to it. I mean, you do get a bit of an answer at the end of season 2, but it's not really that clear. Goats are in it a lot, and there's no real answer. Yeah. And the people who look after goats get really angry if you come near them. There were some balloons in the corridor, and the manager got really frustrated at it and like lost his head. And I was like, why? There's just things that happen that will almost like break up the main scenes. And you're like, I'm already confused. And then you've just done this random cut 2 minutes, and I don't get why that was placed there. I don't get how it adds to the story. I don't get what it means. That's what kind of wears me down a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like strange for strange sake.
Exactly. It's just like, more mysterious. I'm like, if they didn't do as much as that, for me, it'd be a better show. I think I'd probably on the side where less people are. I think most people that watch it are probably on the side of it's amazing and it's really creative. And it is creative and it is out there. But for me, it leans a bit too much on mystery and trying to make you guess to the point where it just becomes frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I enjoy it, but then I also I don't necessarily get those bits. But one of the strange things about it that I do enjoy is like how they interact with each other. There's particularly this character called Milchick, who's like one of the like higher ups in the company.
I quite like him.
I think he's great.
I quite like him.
Just how they some people that work there are severed and some people aren't. I can't remember if he is or isn't, but the way that he will speak and how a lot of the characters there will speak is as if there's nothing behind the eyes. Like they'll be talking about something really serious, but they'll say it in such a calm way. They'll be mad at each other, but they'll say it like their voice will be almost monotone. But he in particular, I think, does an excellent job of balancing this, like maintaining this like weirdness, but also likability, but also you have a bit of fear about him because you're not too sure about him. Like, there's a lot of, he's one of the best things in it for me.
Yeah, I do like him, and weirdly, I would enjoy him as a manager. He is part of a pretty bizarre company that you start to really realize aren't all good, but I think as a manager, he's actually quite nice, and he's actually quite good.
Yeah, like it provides treats like a waffle party or whatever.
Yeah, which is God. Like you'd think a waffle party is just getting lots of waffles. No, it gets strange. It involves attractive women dressed up as different, like I don't know what you'd call it. It's almost like ritualistic.
Yeah, it did look like some sort of sacrificial ritual.
It becomes some like sacrificial. You eat your waffles, and there's some sort of strange ritual, and it's in like this old man's house, and it's creepy. It's strange.
Yeah,
It's just another bizarro moment.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a. If you're looking for a real thinker, and what makes it also hard is there's a lot of like old English, you would say.
Yeah, like the old terminal, yeah, just old language, innit?
Yeah, so you have to be quite sharp with that to really read what they're trying to say. It's creative for sure. It's out there. I think it is worth a watch. I wouldn't say I'm wild about it, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's definitely I can't sort of relate it to anything else.
No, and I do look forward to season 3 coming out. I think it's been cast really well. Like, there's not loads of big names in it. Like Adam Scott, I think people know from. I think he was in The Good Place. I think he was like one of the people from The Bad Place in The Good Place. The main guy, Mark, and Patricia Arquette is in it as well. But other than that, I don't think there are like loads of big names.
No, there is one, but I can't remember his name. Everyone knows him.
Oh, Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. There we go. He's probably the biggest one, to be
Yeah.
honest. I would say him and Adam Scott are probably the big ones.
Yeah,
So yeah, give it a go.
do.
Give it a
Recommend
go. Following on from that, we watched a film called Saltburn. Now, we had heard this was strange, but we didn't know anything about it. So we didn't know. Well, we didn't know anything. We didn't watch
Well,
a trailer. We didn't hear it.
I knew that it was like a gay romance. That's
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
that's the only thing that I'd ever heard. I thought it was like a British Brokeback Mountain,
Right.
but I literally I knew that there were two male characters that had a love interest. And I wouldn't even strictly say that that was true.
No, it gives the impression of that, but it does, and we've got to be careful we don't spoil it because the ending is.
You don't see it.
You don't see it. It's very impressive. I must say, honestly, as bizarro it is, it's a very good film.
Yeah.
It's a very good film. I don't think I could rewatch it just because there are some really disturbing scenes, but it's really good acting, and it is top quality. It's top quality.
It is. It's got one of the main character, Ollie. He was in, I think, was it 1917? That Barry Keoghan and Jacob Elordi, who I think is already like pretty massive, but I think he's gonna skyrocket.
Yeah, God, he's good looking.
He is good looking, but he's also like he was in The Kissing Booth, which is what I know him from originally. There's 3 films with I can't remember what the woman in it's called. But then he played Elvis in the Priscilla film, and most recently he's going to be in Wuthering Heights with Margot Robbie. And I feel like he's a star on the rise. He's already big. I'm not going to downplay how big he already is, but I think he's a star on the rise.
Yeah, I would definitely say he really is on the rise. He is. Honestly, I fell for him in the film. He plays that character so well. He plays a posh character.
Yeah.
He comes from what seems like old money, like very rich. That sort of tough from because they all go to Oxford. This is how they meet. They meet at Oxford University. But I fell for him in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
he just nailed it, and God, he's hot.
Oh, you're not going to cope with Wuthering Heights, I can tell you that.
I think I'm gonna.
Margot Robbie might be leaving her husband for him.
Oh my goodness.
I know that's a terrible thing to say, but there's like look, when she said in interviews that she was codependent on him and that she'd look around for him when he wasn't there, and I've just clocked because I know that you got some information there. He's Australian because I was wondering is either American and really good at a British accent or British and really good at an American accent because I didn't know exactly.
Brilliant.
But it turns out he's an Aussie who can do all accents.
That's good. Accents. I think accents are easy if you're doing a quick short video.
Yeah.
But it's really tough to do for a full film.
Yeah.
Because you could be great for certain words. That's what comedians say a lot of the time. They say it's great when you nail the words, but then when you realise when you have to go through so much dialogue, you realize you can't sustain it and you don't know how other words are said. It's actually not as easy as you would think. So he's obviously a very talented guy.
Definitely.
But getting on to the strange things, the main actor, Barry Keoghan, God, he is weird. And he really freaks you out. It's just his eyes, like he sort of holds the stare a bit too long. And you just know there's something else going on behind him. And there are some really, I mean, we've got to be careful what we say because I'd have to put an explicit on this episode, but I don't know, how do I try communicate one of the scenes without being too
Let's just say he's very, very forward. His character doesn't seem like he's very forward, but he is.
Yeah, he's more forward than you think. He's fancies a lot of people, and there are some scenes.
He's indiscriminate with his affections.
Yeah, he's indiscriminate. I mean, I really want to explain a scene. I don't know if we can.
No, I feel like you don't want to spoil it. That's the thing. I feel like I don't want to give too much. I feel like we've already given quite a bit away about the film.
I just want them to feel the depth of weirdness it gets to by just describing one scene. Like maybe the bathroom scene.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God. So...
I feel like it's spoiler then.
Well... Oh, God.
If you don't want to spoiler in the film, fast forward.
This is going to be a small spoiler for 1 minute. There's a scene where Felix, Jacob Elordi, he masturbates in the bath. And then Barry Keoghan, who's Oliver Quirk in this, notices this. And once he's left the bathroom, he goes straight into the bath. Oh, God, this is bad. And he literally puts his mouth to the drain and he slurps up up the remnants of the water and obviously the ejaculation. Now, I already know we now have to make this episode explicit. So yes. I can put that on the episode. But I just want you to know the depth of weirdness that this gets to. Yeah. And that's not really a huge spoiler. But yeah, spoiler stopped.
Okay, you can listen again now.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. And then Shelby was like, after that, we need to watch something light-hearted. When she recommended Heated Rivalry.
Well, because I've had lots of friends post about it on social media saying it's really good. It's a cute, sweet story about...
It's a porno. It
was a lot more explicit than I was anticipating.
The first episode, like 80% of it is just two men banging in the hotel room. It's just like, I'm not against like a gay romance, but I just don't expect 40 minutes of watching it. It's just like, I wouldn't expect that in any film or any show.
So I think that will be... So, like, I feel reluctant to say that it's a strange program. I just think it's very explicit for what has been accepted as television and not pornography.
Yeah, it is. If you want to watch a gay porno, then Heated Rivalry is right up your street. Yeah. But,
well, maybe because, just thinking for time, we should move on to some of the strange things we have ever seen.
Yeah. So
these are all recent ones that we've seen.
Yeah, these are in our lifetime. So, I mean, God, there's some weird ones. So, for sure, the strangest one out of film I've ever seen was recommended by a friend. And he said it was the weirdest one he's ever seen. And it is the Greasy Strangler.
The Greasy Strangler.
I'm not recommending anyone to watch this.
All right.
It's not... I wouldn't say it's dark. It's a bit dark at times, but it's not like... God, it's weird. So I'll give you an idea for the film. So it centers around on a bizarre father and son whose lives revolve around greasy food, awkward relationships, and this mysterious serial killer who strangles people while covered in grease. So he's called the Greasy Strangler, that's why.
Are they covered in grease or is he covered in grease?
No, the Strangler is covered in grease.
Okay.
Like he eats all this. Yeah, and this father and son, I've kind of given it away, but it's pretty obvious who it is at the start. And it's entirely fictional and intentionally absurd, designed to shock and unsettle rather than reflect reality. There are a lot of scenes make no sense. I'd say it's just a pure shock factor. The amount of wrinkly old man penis you see in this film is ungodly. There's a lot of wrinkly butts and penises. One critic described it as an ugly and frequently hilarious descent into all things repellent, firmly embracing filth shock in its oddball debut. So it is really weird. I can't remember if it's a bit messed up at times. It probably is, but it's just bizarre. If you went out with the plan to let's shoot the strangest serial killer film where people will finish this questioning their entire lives, like that would be it.
Oh.
Just in the sense of like, how have I got to this point where I've put an hour and a half to this? How can I ever get over this hour and a half? How can I ever even try summarize this to someone?
Yeah.
It is just so odd. So if you're into really odd stuff, go for it.
Sounds intriguing.
It's bizarre.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm interested in seeing that one.
I don't recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think the strangest film that I've ever seen is there's two that I'm torn between. One that we watched when we visited some of your family in Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
And that is Schalcken the painter.
Yeah. So, my uncle is he's really into his films, and I love catching up with him, and we have that in common. So he always introduces me to films I've never heard of, but they always have a really good story. Yeah.
No, he did. Like, I always love his recommendations. And he recommended this film. We actually watched it with him, and it's about there is a real painter called Schalcken, as listeners may know. I didn't know this at the time, but Schalcken's paintings feature heavily throughout the film and somewhat inform the plot. But it's basically this creepy old man is promised to the daughter of this rich man, and he's like a corpse. Like so he comes around. She knows that she's about to meet a man that she's going to be betrothed to, and it's just this creepy, ghostly, corpse-looking man. There's some very disturbing and twisted scenes in it, and the paintings just will pop up throughout the film. It's very artistically done.
Yes.
I think it was a BBC film, actually.
It could be, which are usually quite good.
Yeah.
And
I can't really...
mostly shot from one angle, I found. Like, a lot of the film was in this one room watching him paint. For a lot of the film, just this one angle watching him paint. And then the other, most of it is in the dinner hall.
Yeah. So it was pretty strange, wasn't it? But well-made film. So this is a strange film that I would recommend.
Yeah, and just to add the creepiness, because my uncle just loves the depth. He loves to really get into it. We finished it, and then he pointed up to his wall, and he went, and that's the painting. He contacted the museum and managed to get a print off of the actual painting.
Yeah.
They don't even sell it. But
no, so it's really hard for him to get. So
yeah.
So that's one I wouldn't recommend. But then
you would.
Would recommend. And then I'll just briefly talk about one called Synecdoche, New York.
Have I watched this?
I don't think you have, no.
I would like to watch this, but even though you might not recommend it.
The only reason I wouldn't recommend it is that it's extremely hard to follow.
That'd be frustrating.
In short, a writer's given a grant, like a theatre producer, to create his life's work. He's a revered writer, I think, or like playwright, and he gets this grant to come up with what should be then, like, you've already done so well, we're going to give you a load of money for you to come up with, you take as long as you need, all this. And he decides to make it about his life. But as he's writing it, like, the person that he casts to play him becomes a friend. So that person is, yes, acting as him, but now he has to hire someone else to play the real version of them in it. And that happens a couple of times.
That's interesting.
So, like, he's getting someone to play Sheila. Let's say Sarah's playing Sheila. Well, now he needs Susan to play Sarah because Sarah's become a friend and part of his life and part of his story because they worked so closely on this play. And that is basically... I can't remember too much more of the plot, but it just gets quite complicated on who's actually who and who's playing someone, and yeah.
Yeah, that amount of layers you're going to get lost quickly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Severance. It's a lot of plots are happening at once, and with the confusing scenes in between, you sort of get a bit confused.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling, I'll have no chance.
Well, I think if we have a pen and paper and we like
Yeah.
track who's who throughout, but it's got Philip Seymour Hoffman in it. Philip, I think I've said his name in the right order there. You'd know him. I think he was in The Hunger Games maybe as well. But he's a good actor. The main guy.
Oh, amazing! So that's one you wouldn't recommend.
It depends. If you like a thinker, yes.
If you like Thinker, one other which we won't get into, but Memento. That's a really strange film. I would recommend that.
Does that say it follows somebody called Leonard Shelby?
It does, yeah.
No way, I didn't know that.
It does.
Oh, that's just gonna trigger my "it's all a simulation." Oh my god.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, but Memento is an honourable mention, which we'd recommend.
Yeah, Memento's great.
You'd have to watch it a few times to get it, though. Mm-hmm. I know we're coming up on time, but quickly, just what is the most uncomfortable film you've ever watched? Without a doubt, it is Requiem for a Dream for me. I still don't even talk about it. Now, I've not suffered with addiction, so I don't think it'll affect me on the level. Well, I know it wouldn't affect me on the level that it would if someone has addiction. If you have addiction, then I don't know, you can make your own decision, but it is about someone with addiction. It's really disturbing, really sad, but it is amazingly directed, and it is amazing. Shelby's stomach is making all sorts of noises as I talk through this serious film.
Sorry.
It's like proper. Like, that's funny. But it's really well shot, and the film is impressive. I'll be honest, it is so good at making you uncomfortable. I tried to actually rewatch it about a year ago, and I got 10 minutes into it, and I had to turn it off.
Oh.
I couldn't do it. It seems wild to think that a film can make you feel that uncomfortable, but it just communicates the addiction and the sadness of it in such a disturbing way that it makes you feel all sorts of things. It's a really hard watch, but again, if you're the daring type and you're fascinated by that, go on. But honestly, it's not for the light-hearted. It's a tough watch. It's a Requiem for a Dream.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, it does sound like it's a very well-made film.
It is. It is. I mean, what it says about is the film follows 4 characters whose lives spiral as addiction takes hold, chasing different versions of success, love, and escape. It's fictional but grounded in very real experiences of drug dependency and psychological collapse. So it is a well done film, but it's a tough watch.
Sounds it.
I've heard there's another film which I have not watched, but I've heard the film Chopper. I've heard that's a really tough watch as well. But I haven't watched it, so I can't say much about it. It's about an Australian, I think it's, called Mark, and he was a criminal in Australia.
Oh.
But apparently it's really violent and just focused on like making shock, and apparently it's pretty violent. So I've not watched that one though.
Interesting. Well, for me, the hardest watch is one that we watched together.
Oh, I know what you're going to say, and I'm going to say weird. I'm going to sound weird. I love this film.
Now, so here's the thing. It's a good film.
I actually really like this film.
But it's one of the hardest films to watch just in terms... Well, there's a couple of reasons why I would say that this is an uncomfortable film. And I'm not going to... Well, yeah, the ending, which I'm not going to give away. Although how early did I call it?
Yeah, you called it really early.
It's got a shocking ending that I would assume most people wouldn't see coming.
Yeah.
But it is Old Boy. I don't know if I even said that.
Yeah, the film Old Boy with Josh Brolin.
Is it?
Yeah,
Josh there's a couple of versions.
Yeah. Who I love. I've seen him more and more these days on films. I love him.
Yeah, and I think it's... Which Olsen is it? Elizabeth Olsen, I think.
Okay, Elizabeth Olsen.
I'm pretty sure it's Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
So, well, how would I explain it? I don't think we know why he's locked away, do we? There's a man in a room, and he gets served dumplings every day. He has nothing but this room and a television that sometimes will show him videos of his daughter, like throughout, and he's in there for years. They show him videos of his daughter. They come, like, they say, she's got a good life, that you're being punished. I don't think he knows why, does he?
No, I don't believe. Yeah, he's in prison for 15 years. And then, yeah, I don't want to give too much away.
But they release him.
Yeah, you do find out why he goes, why he's in there eventually, but we can't give that away.
No. But he gets given the same dumplings every single day. And he says, please, anything but dumplings. But he just gets given dumplings. I don't think they talk to him, but there's a screen in there that shows him videos of his daughter that's being raised by a different family. And when he gets released, he's like on a mission to figure out who's done this to him and who's got his daughter.
Almost like a Taken
Yeah.
style, that part
Almost
of
in
the
reverse,
film.
like he was the one that was taken.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he the one that was in
Weapons? Yeah.
Ah,
Josh
no way.
Brolin, he's a great actor. He's Thanos.
Yeah.
I love seeing him more and more. I think he's a fantastic actor.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's a very... there's some very uncomfortable scenes, like him being in there, but then also things that happen when he's out. And I can't really... It's hard because I can't say without giving it away why it's such an uncomfortable film to watch. But just don't watch it or don't watch it, but it's extremely uncomfortable.
I personally would recommend it. It is the newer version of Old Boy. There is an older one, which I think is in a different language.
Rami Malek's in it, I don't remember that.
Yeah, Rami Malek.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson. He's a key role in it.
I don't remember that.
He's like, I don't want to give it away, but I'll tell you after what his role is in it.
Okay, thank
but yeah, I would recommend it. It is a good film. It's just a bit uncomfortable because you've got to watch this guy just lose his soul in this pretty much a hotel room for 15 years. Like, it's pretty upsetting. But it's interesting. It is definitely interesting. So there's our strange and uncomfortable films, shows. Let us know if you do choose to go watch any of them. But again, pre-warned, they are weird.
Yes.
And some are going to make you feel quite uncomfortable. But let us know if you do go watch them. Please do let us know in the comments. It'd be really interesting to see what you say.
Well, yeah, and also recommend. We love recommendations. So please let us know what your favourite weird film is, or like one that you wouldn't recommend, and tell us why, and maybe we'll watch it.
Yeah, see if you can top our recommendations. See if you can top them. Now I feel like we're going to get even weird. This is a weird episode because now we're going to get into Scott's WTF of the week. Every week the world gets a little weirder. Let's talk about the strangest thing that went down this week. This isn't too weird, but I think it is strange because Alex Honnold is just a man who keeps defying logic. If you don't know Alex Honnold, he is the man who likes to scale the most impossible mountain faces, cliff faces, even buildings with no ropes. Absolutely zero ropes, zero attachment. He just goes up there as himself. There's nothing.
Wow.
He is inspiring, terrifying, and it is the reality of that space of free climbers is even the best of the best do die. I hope he never does, but it's a real risk. It doesn't matter really how good you are, it can happen. So, you know, it's a risky one. But anyway, his recent feat is he's actually climbed and soloed a 101 story. It's called Taipei 101 skyscraper without ropes in just over 90 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
So he's gone up a skyscraper in just over 90 minutes. It's 508-meter tower. Tallest building. It once was the tallest building in the world. And it was completely live streamed, which adds some more pressure. It was completely live streamed on Netflix.
Oh my god, that's brave.
I know, right? He's crazy. So you can watch this on Netflix right now if you want to check it out. It's on there. And yeah, he climbed it there and he was successful, you know, as he usually is. He tackled it. And yeah, he just got in sort of the outcroppings and overhanging corners and just used his hands. He would have mapped it for weeks, maybe months before. You know, he really takes it seriously. And his other notable, big achievements at least, is, you know, 2017, the biggest one I would say is he was the first person to ever free solo El Cap. Yeah, El Capitan in Yosemite, which we were looking up to, weren't we?
Yeah, it's huge. It's like, it's not called the Captain for nothing.
No, it is ginormous. It's a mountain among men. He free soloed that.
Wow.
It was unreal. Again, another documentary you can find on Netflix. Yeah, it's called Free Solo. It's even Oscar winning. Yeah, it's unreal. He's an inspiring guy. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. He just keeps on doing it. I don't doubt in a couple of years' time we'll hear of another achievement.
Yeah, wow. So this building was the tallest in the world before. I'm guessing
Used to
before.
be, yeah. It's it looks like, yeah, it's Taipei. I think it's in Taiwan.
Oh yeah, in Taipei, Taiwan.
Taipei, sorry, Taipei. Yeah, Taipei. There we go. Susie coming in. Yeah.
I'd like to go to Taipei. I think it'd be nice, and we can look at how tall that building is.
We can, yeah. Well, we nearly did go to Taiwan with that side of the world. At that time, it was very cyclone central, so didn't quite work out. But Taiwan, yeah, we'll definitely like to check it out.
Yeah. Wow, what an impressive and crazy man.
He is. He's crazy, isn't he?
Yes.
He's crazy.
He is. Well, thank you for sharing that, my darling. I think it's probably time for Shelby's Good Vibes Only. So let's take a break from the chaos. Here's something to make you smile this week.
Shelby's Good Vibes Only.
Solar. I love the sun, and I'm very excited that there are some technological advancements in solar power. So we're used to the solar panels on houses, on roofs and all that, but there have been a few advancements in terms of new technology to harness solar, one of which being something the Latitude 40 Solar Tracker by Joe Fleming is inspired by sunflowers, and it follows the sun throughout the day, which makes sense rather
That
than...
makes sense. I'm
Doesn't it?
surprised we hadn't already made that.
Isn't it? Like,
So logical.
that's one of those things that when it's invented, you're like, duh.
Yeah, innit? Mimic a flower. That's like how they survive, right?
They're called daisies, not nightsies.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So these would follow the sun throughout the day, and it can boost solar output by up to 30%, especially in northern countries,
That's big.
isn't it? So it's like affordable, it's simplistic, and it's like making the most out of it. And then another solar power technological advancement, most hard to say, Henry Snaith came up with perovskite solar materials, which is ultra thin, flexible cells that can be applied to buildings, vehicles, and more. I've been saying for years, nay, decades, they should
Wow.
put solar panels on cars.
Yeah.
Why? If like they're the thing that's in the sun and moving them like that.
Yeah.
The top of your car is constantly in the sun.
Yeah. I'm surprised it hasn't happened.
Exactly. Well, and maybe it will. So this new thin material by Henry Snaith, you can stack different layers that allows different efficiencies on par with or exceeding traditional silicone panels, and it makes it more versatile and more efficient. So these are just two of many new advancements that we have in solar power. I get really, really excited when thinking about solar power because it's just that, like, it makes sense. Right? Like, why are we destroying the planet, digging for oil and all that when we've got the sun at our disposal? Like, every day you get more. It's the most renewable energy.
Yeah, I think it's so powerful, the sun, and we need to try find creative ways to harness the power of the world and the universe. And I think we do need to put more money and time to this. It's a shame that the Trumps of the world don't believe in global warming. He has a lot of weight and a lot of... When people like that are in power who have that much weight to turn everyone's head away from it, it's just... We're going to be the laughing stock when we get to where it seriously impacts the world. And it already is. Like, people don't think it is. Go to Sri Lanka. Go see how it's devastated there on a yearly basis. Go to Taiwan, Vietnam when it gets to cyclone season. Those cyclones are now defying science. They're hitting speeds that even science said would never hit.
Yeah.
Because of this. It is happening. But people just think, it's fine, it's just the world. It's sad. We were watching the film Life of Chuck last night. We haven't quite finished it, but it's a revolving around where it's just eventually hit the end and people are there like laughing at it, but then like, oh, this sucks. Like, I wish people really took this seriously in the past. And people are just like broken. I think it's just going to be one of those things that will just bite us in the ass eventually.
Yeah. Which is frightening. Very frightening.
It sucks.
But hopefully this is good vibes only, Scott, and you've
Sorry.
hijacked negativity. But hopefully things like these solar panels may help.
Joe Fleming and Henry Snaith is gonna. They are going to help.
There we go.
They're going to help, and they are helping.
They are.
Well, what a wonderful episode. And if you want to hear even stranger things, we recommend one of our many episodes, such as the real life poltergeist that drove my family out of our home. It changed the way we see everything. That's one episode where we talk about all the poltergeists in our life, true stories. Or EP55, Shelby's slasher, Sixth Sense, TSA Swamp Crotch, and Mum Beats All Odds. That's where we dive into Shelby's favourite strange and scary slasher movies.
Yes.
So good episodes as well. But before we do all jump back into life, please can you do us a favour and slap the like button, karate chop, subscribe, drop 5 stars on the podcast like a superhero, and share the episode by shouting it into a canyon. It really means a lot to us. Another adventure wrapped up.
But the journey never ends.
Keep your bags packed for the next one. And remember, when in doubt, just say, Yalla Habibi. See you next time.